Hi, good evening. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I wanted to touch on a little retro look at our visit to Hong Kong, where we had a terrific time. So terrific that we needed to have a rest when we came home and go back to work. And so it was real fun. But one of the things that I wanted to mention was that during our time there, we were very well taken care of by our friend Stephen, probably better known to you as Hong Kong Stephen, because he has his own website called HK and Above, or HK Above. He has a pretty fancy drone, and he does some really nice aerial shots of various parts of Hong Kong. So worth having a look. Hong Kong, HK and Above. I'm guessing it's hkandabove.com. I'm terrible at these things. But anyway, Stephen, we want to thank you, of course. We want to thank you online and on video for taking care of us. Just so incredible. And if you should give him a call, perhaps he'll take care of you the same. But just things which personally I would never have thought of, but that really made our trip. For instance, he bought both Beth and I octopus cards, and the octopus card is a method of paying. It's like a prepaid credit card, and you can use it for in many ways. The main way that we used it was in travel, because we travelled everywhere. When we finally found which bus to take or where the train station was, you may have seen the videos. Beth and I like to get lost a lot. Well, actually we don't, but we do get lost a lot when we're in Hong Kong. And we were really grateful for those octopus cards. And an octopus card, I wonder while I'm talking if I can find what's left of mine and show it to you. An octopus card is incredible in many ways. It's not something that I like as a method of running people's lives, because in a way it does, because it means that they don't need to have cash. And one of my one of my hobby horses or soapboxes is that I don't want to see the world suddenly become a cashless society, because if you ain't got cash, you can be in real trouble, because the powers that be, which are not always in our favour, can just cut you off. If you ain't got cash, you're really cut off. But anyway, for the sake of just our trip, this is what an octopus card looks like. Now here's God, this is almost going to sound like I'm actually, instead of being grateful, I'm making complaints. Because what it does is, as I say, it means that you do not need to have cash for lots of things that you can do. Lots of restaurants will take the octopus card, lots of different vendors will take the octopus card, and it's one of those things which, let my wife creep around. Are you finished now, honey? Yeah. Okay. What it means is that where you are is known, and here's what scared me a little bit, and then I'll get off the subject of my fear of a cashless society. Is that when you went to go on the underground or the subway, on the little stile that you have to go through, right? So the stile is up here like this. Well, it's not this high, of course, it's waist level, right? But it has its reading bit right? Now, here's the thing, me being 50 years behind the time, was taking my card out, and Stephen said, well, actually, you don't need to even take your card out. Here's my card in my wallet, and I can just swipe it like that. Don't even have to take the card out of the wallet. Don't you think that's a little bit scary? So, sorry, I'm putting that tablet down there and fiddling about with the electricity supply. So, I found it good news and bad news, and for while we were there, it was good news, and we were so grateful to Stephen for even thinking of that, you know, which I wouldn't have thought of that. I can think as far as why don't we pick you up at the port, or why don't we pick you up at the airport, and then you come and stay with us in our guest house and eat the humble food that we eat, or go into Taliban and eat out at the humble places that we eat at. But I don't really think about doing things like that. Don't think about things, actually, it's a different life here. So if and when you may come and stay with us, you're not just left on your own. If I go hiking, you go hiking. And if I go to eat at a cheapo restaurant, then that's where you eat, or you can go and do your thing, of course. But anyway, that's not what people normally do, because they come here to have a look at what we do, and that's what we do. We take people around with us, and you just tag along and you see everything for yourself, up close and personal. So the actual point of my meandering, boy, I do waffle sometimes, I know that, honestly, but I really wanted to say that we had agreed on a Sunday to go to the church that Stephen is a very active member in. Now, don't ask me what the denomination is, because I don't know. But what I do know is, I know that everybody there was incredibly friendly. Well, of course they were. Most of them were Filipino. Now, if you haven't already been to the Philippines, then you have yet to discover the friendliest people in the universe, as far as I'm concerned, because I always say, it's a little bit cliched, I know, but I always say there's more smiles per mile in the Philippines. Somebody who was much cleverer than I was said, it's more fun in the Philippines, and that's much more catchy, isn't it? But more smiles to the mile is definitely true. People just smile easily here, and when this is my, I had this thought that if anybody is going to have a combined trip of going to Hong Kong and coming to the Philippines, here's what I suggest. Go to Hong Kong first, and then come to the Philippines, because Hong Kong could prepare you for the Philippines, but the Philippines will definitely not prepare you for Hong Kong, because there are not so many smiles per mile. It just doesn't seem to be in the makeup. People are more serious. People, even though they're extremely helpful, they're not just openly friendly. The Filipino people, sorry to go on about this, but if you've watched any of my videos before, you probably know that I might even be quite unpopular with the other expats in this country of ours, as I think of the Philippines now, because compared to the Filipinos, I find expats are, not all, but a lot, I think a majority, fair to say that a majority are so busy thinking about how things aren't quite as organized and as customer service friendly, and other service friendly. You know, the internet's not so good, you can't get a car repaired in the same way. There's so many things wrong with the place, you know. And the only thing that they seem to miss is that people are happy here. They're happy. Now, most expats have run away, whether they admit it or not. They've fled from places like America and the UK and Germany and Australia because the overregulation and the way of people compared to the Filipinas is just so lacking. And when you come over here, you'll be quite overwhelmed by how friendly people are. Well, I wasn't overwhelmed by how friendly people were at Pastor Jim and Arlene's church and Stephen's church. I wasn't overwhelmed because I'm used to it and I love it, and it was great fun. Now, if you're living in Hong Kong, you may well be within easy call of this particular friendly place. So if you're looking, I don't know, you might be Filipino, you might be an OFW, an overseas Filipino worker, and you might be looking for a friendly face. Well, what better place to go than to a church which is predominantly Filipino. I can't tell you the address because mainly I spent most of my time being lost or on a bus going from place to place. So what I will do is I will give you Arlene and Jim's email address, which I'm sure they'll be quite happy for you to have. And if you should get in touch with Jim, he will give you the address and probably meet you at the station. So it is China Jim at netvigator.com. Now, I should have to spell all of that out. China is CHINAJIM, all one word, and lowercase, I'm supposing, at netvigator, netvigator.com. If you're looking for a place to feel welcomed, and I'm not affiliated with this church because I've never been to Hong Kong, and I'm not anticipating that I'll have a great deal of money that I can spend on going back there, much as I would love to. So I'm just telling you that I just felt so welcome and loved at that place that I wanted to share that. And I haven't yet written or messaged. I was in the middle of doing that when the battery on my phone went flat, or certainly went off. I went offline or something, so I wasn't able to finish the message to Jim and Arlene, thanking them for making us so welcome. Beth and I both felt exactly the same. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Arlene. I'm sure that Stephen, if he does get round to listening or watching this video, will give you the link, and so you will be looking directly at me and I will be thanking you. So this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for looking in. Bye for now.